I got to spend some time with one of the largest EU guilds in World of Warcraft. Their name, the Scarlet Scourge. And they're a bit different than normal guilds because everyone who is a part of the Scarlet Scourge, they're all undead characters. And they all go by the name Abomination. That's right, in order for everyone to be in this guild, you have to have the name Abomination. They're using an assortment of special characters in order to make sure everyone can have this name. But being one of the largest guilds on EU comes with its challenges. So I thought I'd spend some time to chat with some of the guild members who have put together this large guild that has even impressed some of the biggest World of Warcraft content creators. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as the Scarlet Scourge members take the stage to chat more about what it's like to be part of one of World of Warcraft's biggest guilds. The guild Scarlet Scourge. I think a great question to start off with is, what is the Scarlet Scourge? Like, when were you formed and how many members do you currently have part of the guild?
Hello everyone, so the Scarlet Scourge was formed in 2019. It started off as the Scarlet Crusade actually, but we renamed to Scarlet Scourge. It was initially a meme guild. We were basically the Team Rocket of World PvP. We would go and kill as many Alliance people as we could in Stormwind, and at some point we would get overpowered and we would have to flee by portal or run to the stockades, and then we would emerge from the stockades and continue the good fight. But all in all, it was always a guild based on friendship. It was a guild based on a good time. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm Simon and I'm the current active guild leader together with Nibor. On retail, we are I just checked 50 active people during the week. Day by day, it's about 30. On SOD, it's 20 people last time I checked. Obviously, wait times are more popular. But yeah, for the future, I think that in the next year, more events will be coming since SOD is so popular and really easy to get into for new players. And for retail, Blizzard has planned many great things for a guild like ours to prosper in regards to world PvP. And yeah, that's our current outlook.
It's so cool that there's many different people who have joined Scarlet Scourge. I'm sure there are some members who used to play back in the day and no longer do. And of course, you're getting brand new members every single day. But what makes Scarlet Scourge different than and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the Scarlet Crusade, like the NPCs in the game. What's the big difference between the Scarlet Scourge and the Scarlet Crusade?
The idea behind the Scarlet Scourge was that we are a bunch of Scarlet Crusaders that got murdered and we got turned into the undead. However, we don't see ourselves as undead. We see ourselves as still living. However, both the living and the undead attack us, and that is why we don't belong to any faction. The entire gist of this is the fine contrast between being a Scarlet Crusader and being an undead, and we are somewhere in between.
Being a guild with only undead characters, has there ever been a thought about allowing Alliance players into the guild? I mean, what if you get bored of playing your undead character? Does your guild ever spend time playing on the Alliance?
We had an active Alliance guild. It's also a themed guild, but not with undead, but with mecha gnomes. We wanted to establish a story there and kind of do the same thing like we did on the Scarlet Scourge, where we do world PvP and gank people as mecha gnomes and have a little bit of story behind it. Maybe added some machinima for it to have a story that's exciting. Yeah, but that didn't work out quite that well, and it's stopped at some point. It still exists, I believe, but yeah, that's a project that's on the low end. Like, the other thing is that we have a guild where everybody could join. The guild was established, I think, 2.5 years ago. It's called the Scarlet Kingdom, and anybody could join that guild. It's basically the community guild for people who don't want to only play undead, but want a little bit of variety, but still want to be part of the community or have a place to share and join groups for RPGs or something.
If you want to join the Scarlet Scourge today, you would have to pick an undead character. Is that correct?
The main guild, yes, but the guild, the Scarlet Kingdom, is open for Alliance players.
Gotcha.
And I think somewhere on the Discord it can be found how to join that. I think Blizzard made it easier too for cross-faction guilds, but there's also like a community established where people can join and then they can get invites to the Scarlet Kingdom guild.
Thanks for covering that. I think that's a cool thing to kind of know for players. Maybe they're only Alliance players and they want to join, which is awesome. And I wanted to ask though, like the Scarlet Scourge it's a big guild. There's a lot of members who are part of the Scarlet Scourge. Are there any types of difficulties when it comes to organizing events for such a large guild?
Yes. So initially, there was a bit of a problem because we didn't have an add-on. However, we do have a customly made Abomination add-on, which helps you see who is who in guild chat. So, for example, when somebody speaks, their name is in front of the message, and it's actually really easy. We used to have a hover over function as well, where if you hovered over an Abomination, their real name would show. But yeah, they told me today that doesn't work anymore. However, organization-wise, I think it's been quite easy, honestly. It looks much harder than it is to organize.
It's great to hear that, there's a lot of different moving pieces and parts as to a guild of this size, and I'm sure there are some people that bring on more responsibilities than others, but it's great to hear that you guys have things going on. And I wanted to ask, like, how does the population of WoW feel about your guild? Maybe there's been some opinions about your guild in the past. Do players recognize you guys in game as you're playing throughout the world of Azeroth?
I have experience with meeting people. Like Solo Shuffle is like my most played game mode ever since it was introduced in Shadowlands, and a lot of people recognize the guild name and the character name, so they always ask questions like how many members are currently online, are we still active, or what is the current plan. And also during PvPs, like when I do like 2v2s, I'm searching for a teammate in pre-mates, then a lot of people just whisper, is this the real Abomination from this guild, from this Asmongold video or something like that.
So are there people that think that it's just one person playing multiple characters across the World of Warcraft? Is this a common misconception of the Abomination?
Yeah, like a lot of people, I heard that they asked if I was the one that controlled like every single one of the characters in the videos and etc. Like they essentially think we are multi-boxers.
That's so funny. Well, this video hopefully proves that there are multiple people playing on all the characters. It's not just one guy, trapped in his basement playing multiple versions of WoW on many computers. It's a very cool thing, and I'm sure the confusion is justified. It's great to hear like what the community of World of Warcraft has to feel about you guys, and it's great to hear that there's an interest in just seeing the Abomination name run across in game.
So I don't do as much PvP. I do still play PvP because it's, in my opinion, the most fun activity, but I do a lot of open world stuff and just fly around, farm old content, and I do still get here and there a few DMs sometimes, just people saying it's great to still see you around, like your stuff is awesome what you're doing, and just people being super positive. I haven't really seen any people say something bad like in DMs. People saying they think you're super cool, and it's really sweet that there are still people just in open world, you just meet them. You've never seen them before, and they just tell you how cool it is. And sometimes they ask how to get recruited into the guild, and you can just tell them how it goes and just tell them to join the Discord or something. It's just really sweet to meet a lot of people. It creates opportunities to meet new people too.
While we were filming this video, some of the B shots that you guys have seen, there were other players like walking up to you guys all lined up, like looking at you, and I'm sure you get tons of messages from people going, I've seen you around in the game. How do I join your guild? I think it's very cool that people have been very positive. Some players say, hey, World of Warcraft community is toxic in this regard, but this is just a great example as to how there is a general interest in people wanting to be part of a community and just see something happening and be like, hey, what do I need to do to take part in that? So thanks for sharing that, Teal. I think that's really cool to hear about an interest in people wanting to join Abomination. How I'll kind of transfer over into the next segment is the following. There's a lot of different activities and events happening within guilds. What does the Scarlet Scourge have planned for 2024?
For 2024, the main thing will probably still be on the Season of Discovery server, since people can get into that really quickly with the level caps, the different phases that progress more and more, and so people can get into that easier. But for retail, it's mainly, I think, Battlegrounds, World PvP and Transmog is still the in-game focused, and not the machinima focus from the older days. Of course, we are looking for reinforcements on that side, also on the organizers. Like, we need people to help us organize these events, because real life happens and more people from the officer rank don't really have the time to put into the game and come after the events. It's very specific what they can do weekly or daily. For the future, even after 2024, we will look into staying as we were in the last year. It's more quiet, more personal. Like, it's not too much with the exposure outside. Like, we had problems in the past when we try to restructure how we work and with the events and stuff, but we can't really push people to do these things as if they were jobs. That's just unrealistic. So whenever someone wants to do something, they want to host a transmog stream, or they want to do world PvP, or they want to host battleground groups to get honor gear and stuff, then they will do so and will get encouraged by the officer group.
And just like real life, I mean, it comes and goes. Some people are playing WoW all the time and they have the time for it, and other things come up in real life like job, family, relationship, your own mental well-being. So it totally makes sense that some people come and go, and maybe some people have logged off for some time. That doesn't mean that they might not return, and the Scarlet Scourge is open for more people kind of joining the ranks and, of course, you know, living that undead life. So thanks for kind of sharing what you have planned for 2024. It's going to be a big year for World of Warcraft, so I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what you guys do for this year. Is there any type of advice or tips you'd give to players who are looking to start their own guild with their friends in WoW? Are there certain things that they should look out for, or do you have any just recommendations on how to build up a guild within this video game?
So initially, this guild was created by my brother and I. We were initially only 2 people. The other officers tagged along really quickly. The guild started growing exponentially, especially after the exposure we got from Asmongold streams. And there was a time when we couldn't facilitate all of the people inside the guild, so we had special rules. Only one person could have a character in the guild, and it was completely full all of the time. It had a cap of 1k members. Even now, I think we're also close to 1k members. The thing is about running a guild, you never know where it will take you. And if you are really into this kind of stuff, if you're really into organizations, and if you really want to create a space where you can have fun with your friends, the best advice I can give you is not to give up, because at some points it looked very grim for us in terms of members. To start a guild like this, you need to be crazy, for one, because, you know, when we weren't really that popular, people would think of us as weirdos, and people would say, this is going to be a fad, it's going to last only for a week or so. But, you know, slowly but surely we found the right members. We built the guild from scratch, and even if there are a lot of people here who don't play World of Warcraft anymore, they still hang out in our Discord server, and there's like this out of the game community that's very valuable to everybody. My main advice would be for aspiring guild masters not to give up, and to facilitate a friendly atmosphere. That's about it.
Thanks for the upbringing of Scarlet Scourge and giving some advice. I think that's really cool to hear, and what a cool, unique story. You know, it was just you and your brother starting off, and now look how big it's become. I mean, I know you don't play too much now, Milan, but it's great to see that you have a whole Discord server and a whole community of people still running around as undead characters. I think that's very cool. Teal, Zoomer, Simon, Milan, I appreciate all of you sitting down and chatting with me today. Are there any final thoughts that any of you would like to share before we wrap this up?
I mean, I do have an idea for an event that I plan on hosting every week. So basically, every week on Wednesday there's a reset for PvP and PvE also. There's a world PvP quest that everyone gets for 100 sparks of life. I don't know which one it is. And basically you have to kill people in the world, in the zone that the quest goes to, and we could, like, as a guild, meet up and go do the quest together and just do world PvP like the old days.
That's awesome. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see a bunch of Abominations just going through and causing havoc, killing other players. I'm looking forward to seeing this kind of happen for you guys every Wednesday. I think it'd be really cool to see.
The time where I joined the guild was the time in Shadowlands when content like max level got so repetitive that I was really close to quitting the game. And I joined the guild and it was like a breath of fresh air. On my old main, I would always join guilds, have a nice time, like 4 months or something, and then for some reason the guild was disbanded and people would stop playing, people had a fight or something. And it was just like a really big family, and everyone was so kind, and someone in the guild even taught me how to PvP. I didn't know anything about it, and now I'm not even that bad. There's so much help between the members, and it made playing so much more fun, and that's the reason why I still play today, because I met all of these cool and awesome people, and I'm just really grateful because having this kind of big family is just great.
I love it, and this is exactly why the magic of MMORPGs are so much fun to log back into each and every single day. The community that's there, the random people that you meet while playing the game, and of course the friendships that you can have by joining a community in a guild such as Scarlet Scourge. Thanks so much for sharing that, Teal, and I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' ranks grow as time goes on.
Even though I don't play anymore, I've left the guild in very good hands, and the tenets we made when we established the guild, when it comes to being an undead only guild and wearing a specific transmog, being always friendly to your guild members, fun comes first, and before fun comes real life, right? All of these mini rules, they're still put in place and they make up a great community. And yeah, I'm sure that if you do join a guild like ours, or if you choose to create one like ours, you will see World of Warcraft in a very different way. It's like playing the game, but with a different set of rules. Imagine like hardcore classic. It's a completely different game, but it is the same game at the same time, right? You just have a little bit of a different set of rules, which makes it that much more special.
Thanks for sharing that, Milan, and it's great to hear that a guild that you had started way back then, even though you're not really playing the game now, it's cool to see that it's in good hands and still very active and alive right now. That no pun intended, even though you're all playing undead characters, but nevertheless, it's so cool to see your guild is still active to this day, and I'm very thankful that you have taken some time to kind of chat with me today about more on what Scarlet Scourge is, and just logged back into the game to take part in this. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay hydrated, gamers.